Hi, I'd like to discuss about how to use GitHub as our tool for productivity and to create a centralized workaround. So first, we have this step-by-step process here. So as stated, we need to install the GitHub desktop. So if you're going to visit this link, and all you need to do is download this tool and install on my end. I don't need to install and download and install since I have the tool. And next one is this. You need to again download and install the VS Code. Yeah, you can just download directly and install directly to your local machine. We have a note here. You can just actually check all the. Let me just try this out for um, as a demonstration. So I have here the VS Code, or let me just browse in my local machine. VS Code. Let me search for any. So I have now a new copy of the VS Code. So if you are installing the VS Code for the first time, all you need to do is run the installer, then wait for the installer to respond, and so setup as selected. So um, I can just close the existing setup. Let me just close this out, and okay. um, so you need to check all the boxes here as much as possible to kind of um, take advantage of the settings of this tool. So I don't want to proceed since I have this tool installed on my local machine. Let me just close this website. And of course, you need to create your GitHub account. So you just need to go to, let me just use an incognito mode. You can go to github.com and sign up. Just use your personal email, or you can just actually use our company email if you would want to. So now, after setting up your GitHub account, so I'll be granting you an access to this repository. Basically, let me just discuss this a bit. Fast forward. These are basically, as you can see here, all workarounds for LP websites, which could be simple HTML, we have CSS, JavaScript, or we can have fully customized components. These are workarounds. Of course, these are workarounds um, which are not existing to our platform. So we have the repository for version 1, the Keystone. We have the JSON website, the V2 website. We also have the V3 website and North Star. But I'll be discussing the details of this. All I have to discuss is how to really set up this tool in your local machine, and um, we'll be having an exact copy of this repository. So to begin with, you need to install this. By the way, you can just change the setting of, by default, this is set to, I think, light. So really up to you if you want to change the appearance from dark to light. So I just want to use the dark mode. I'd like to close this out, and now let me just minimize it that way. So this is the basic interface of this tool, and all you need to do is we're gonna pull up the existing repository from the internet. and we'll use this GitHub desktop to do that. So you can just follow these steps to kind of set up your um, GitHub desktop in your local machine. So let me begin with cloning a repository. So we have a different setup since um, I have many projects here. But before anything else, before doing the cloning and before we clone the repository, a certain repository from the internet. So let me just maybe you can just save that at your local disk, and let's just this is just a test. So let me just an example. I mean, and GitHub test. So we'll be using this folder to pull up all the records from the GitHub. So now all we need to do is clone the repository, and you can just search here luxury, or on your end you only have actually the we have luxury presence ph dash ph, and we have two repositories. Repositories are files. Repository consists of files. So these are basically like this. So this is the exact repository, and as you can see, it has folders and yeah, files as well. So now, to pull up this certain repository, I'd like to pull up first the luxury presence components. But before that, let me just choose the exact folder where we are going to save the exact file. And you can use the what we did is create the GitHub test. Yeah, that one. Let me open it. Open it. Select. No Luxuria. Let me just close it out like that. Select again. Let me select GitHub test. Select. Or we can just actually delete this one, and we need to choose the folder. All we need to do is go to the GitHub test and open a specific folder. So in this case, we can just create like LP for short for luxury presence. Before anything else, before we choose the local path, we need to check this out, something like that, and select this exact repository, and you need to choose the specific folder where we are going to save the repository. So we can just select the test, open it up. Let me just delete this folder. Don't need that one. And so let me just begin, restart. So all you need to do is select first the repository and choose the exact folder where you are going to save the this repository. Go to GitHub test. Really up to you as to the naming convention. Select this folder and clone. So cloning is just copying the exact files from. Let me just go to the GitHub page. So these files or folders or files and folders will be um, copied into your local machines. So you can just go to for my own purpose. After that, you need to select for my own purposes and continue. So we have now the local components here. You can just navigate this repository, um, and this is fetching the latest copy of this file, these folders and files. So then to add another repository, since we have two fundamental repositories from GitHub hosted in GitHub. So again, we can just select add and clone an existing repository from the internet. And again, let me select the other repository. This should be luxury presence JSON. Um, this contains the JSON settings of all V2 websites, clients who are still using the version 2 of our dashboard. So let me just select this one. Again, you need to choose the exact repository. In our case, yeah, we have here, you can just select and clone the repository. So let's just wait while waiting for this to finish, since it has more files. So let's go to the exact folder where we created the GitHub test. And we have now the repository here. So this is how we actually um, set up the GitHub repository into our local machine. Let me know if you have question about this, and I'll be creating another. Again, let's finish this setup for my own purposes. Continue, and yeah, we have now two copies of our repository. So you can just select, we have a drop down here. You can just select the repository and the second repository. So more of this GitHub desktop setup will be discussed on the next video. Thank you.